Hello, my name is Tammy and I'm the Bull in Training, and let's talk about something. Okay, so I think it needs to be noted that, first of all, it's cold as hell in this car. I'm going to pick up my kids, and this is like pretty much the only time I have to chat. So let's chat. Get your tea. Let's talk about building a small account, okay? I have been building a small account for a while. I lose it, I gain it back, lose it, gain it back, lose it, gain it back. What is a small account? Because I think that's the most important thing that people say. My definition of a small account is under $1,000. Other people that I did not realize their definition of a small account was like $5,000. And I don't know if it's just because I've been trading for so long. Like, baby, if I had $5,000, y'all would not see me. I flipped up $5,000 so quick. But I strongly feel like the level of Jedi master sharp mind you have to flip a small account. If you can't do it with a small account, you probably couldn't do it with a large account. The only thing I think the benefits of having a larger account is being able to correct a wrong. As long as your psychology is right? If you follow your rules and something didn't work out in your favor, cool. You can always get back in and, make your loss back. When you're having a small account, like we're talking about $100, $200, $300, $500 account, depending on, what you're trading, especially if you're trading options, you don't often get that. The hardest thing that I think needs to be noted when you're trading a small account, and you have to remind yourself this. One, if you're a newbie, I don't care how many lucky trades you've taken, and I use that word strongly, prepare for the losses. We all got to pay to play. We're all got to pay to play. You almost kind of want to do that because this is how we get better. Fail faster, journal, fucking get better, right? If you're just learning how to trade, your mind shouldn't even be on profiting. Your mind should be on figuring out how this works, the strategy that works for you, and what comes up when you're trading. Greed, ego, fear, whatever that is, work on it. Don't even fucking worry about am I gonna make my rent today? Baby, if you did, I promise you're gonna lose that and more. And it's not like I'm wanting that to happen, but it's just dancers got to crack some toes, singers got to get a sore throat, actors got to get some nose. Do you want the Emmy? Do you want the award? Come on, let's go. Hurry up. Stop trying to, come on. Get that out of your head. So with that being said, something that I had to learn about when I am building a small account, and I didn't take into the thing is, it's all cool and gravy, but the one thing that fucks you up is this. Your loss. Your stop loss, or, the percentage that you are willing to lose. Setting your account at 10% or whatever per trade, it's almost always going to be too much risk when you're trading with a small account. And that's what you have to keep in mind, which means that you have to play extra carefully, extra slower. And your setups have to be pristine. There's no willy-nilly trading allowed until you get to a point where you have room to lose, and that's something that I did not take seriously because it took a couple times, fucking here I am again, right, where I'm like, okay, it's not realistic to set your stop loss if you're trading with a $150 account, or you're I'm only going to lose 10%. That's still a lot, and trading options on Thinkorswim and stuff, you got to wait for that money to settle, whatever, whoop-de-whoop. It's still a lot. And a lot of times you need a little bit more grace because price comes back, price moves and it takes you out. And a lot of times you will see that it did exactly what we said it was going to do. It's just we did not have a big enough little grace period. And that's not to say that's okay, well, if I set my stop at 10%, I'm going to do it at 25. No, baby, no. But it's something to consider that sometimes you might have to risk a little bit more for the biscuit, or wait for more confirmation, which means that you put less profit in your pocket. But these are just things that you need to consider when you're trading a small account. You cannot compare your trading to someone with a bigger account. Pay attention to percentages versus losses, not the money amount. That was what I was focusing on. I was like, I'm only at $10. Let me hit that 50. And then I would watch it reverse. But mind you, that $10 trade, in percentage wise, I was up like maybe, 30, 40, 50%, which when I started kind of like studying some of these people, and I realized that comparing trader wise, right? A lot of us have it. Like, a lot of us are really good. It's just we don't have the capital. Like this trader on Twitter, forgot her name, but she put up, I broke out the calculator. She put up close to like 11, 12 grand. And her profit back was something like small based off how many contracts and stuff that she bought. It was like, I don't know, like 10%. But that 10% was like, to me, I was like, no, that's a lot of money. And that's when I was first starting out, I never did the math. Like, to me, I never thought it was important enough to pay attention to how much they were putting up, how long these bitches were staying in trades. Like, of course, if you have $20,000 and you jump in on a green candle with a lot of fucking volume, by the time you click buy and sell, you're gonna make some money. But that's not trading. I mean, trust and believe, I would love to do it, but that's not trading. That's not how most of us can trade. And you cannot compare your profits, compare your percentages, because those will be a lot more accurate, and you'll figure out, especially if you've been trading for a while, that it's a lot more, you're in the same ballpark. You're just not making the same amount of money because you don't have the same amount of capital. And the thing is, we're here for the long game, not for a good time. We're here to stay. And you need to come up with a plan, compounding interest. And that's something I have to work on a lot with myself, because I'm like, baby, I want to be rich tomorrow. Like, I don't want to take 6 months to save up money. But I told myself I'm no longer saving my own ass when it comes to trading, because a lot of times we trade because we know we can put a little bit of money back into it. Yes, you do need something outside of trading in the beginning, so you don't feel like you are going to bring a gun to somebody to get your money back at Thinkorswim or something, But at the same time, you need to kind of like trade seriously, not like, oh, well, I was fat, I can put money back into it. No, you need to trade seriously. So I started my account with $97 this year. I got it all the way up to like almost $200 in a couple of weeks, if that. I think it was like 2 weeks. And I lost that bitch. I'm back down to $97. Mainly because I forgot all about FOMC and just interesting trading stuff. And technically, the first loss when I saw, like my trade, the price action just wasn't price actioning how it usually is. Should have been my first warning, but I started getting into that. Oh my God, but other people are making money. What does that mean? I'm not a trader. I'm not sitting here watching these other people trade. So you don't know, like shit. I tell people all the time I go to the gym, but you don't know I'm just sitting there in the sauna. Like, what you mean? So mindful of that when you're building a small account. And yeah, I'm going to post more videos about building my small account, turning my grocery money into income, and teaching other people how to trade. And I'm going to be realistic about it and honest about it, baby. There's enough room for us all to eat. So love you. Have a fantastic day and be safe.